Hello. Don't worry about Sunderland, the best football team in the world. Like my tie? Sunderland. That's why I'm wearing red. I'm not even wearing my lucky knickers. Sunderland. But some certain things I shouldn't tell. Can you please edit that out? Okay. Right. I'm going to talk about the future of the world. But I'm not going to tell you one thing. I'm not going to tell you the lottery numbers for this weekend. Shame. Shame. So, my name's Ian Yeoman. I was born in Sunderland, so that's the connection. I migrated all the way to New Zealand in 2008, so that's a long way away. But it has a very strong Dutch influence, discovered by a guy called Abel Tasman. Anybody know who he is? No? Yes, I can't see you for the lights. So I live in Wellington and got married in January. So all you young ladies, I'm spoken for. So let's begin. Let's begin. 2050. First slide, please. You've got the wrong presentation up. Yes. So we'll see how this one goes, shall we? I wasn't prepared for this. That's the old one. Melissa edited this one and said I had to do the new one. So I don't know what's gone wrong there. Anyway, let's start. Okay. This is where you have to do that ad-lib stuff. Okay, that's the wife. That's Vicky Yeoman, my wife. And these are our honeymoon slides. Okay, went to Thailand. What I'm going to talk about is the world in 2050. There's things that are constant and things that will change. And some of the things that are constant will be, why will you go on holiday? Well, we go on holiday, it's all about families. It's all about romance. It's all about beaches. The purpose of a holiday is to get away from the norm. And that's going to be constant. That's not going to change. Okay? So beaches, romances, and holidays are the most popular holiday choices today, and they're still going to be the most popular holiday in the year 2050. That's not going to change. The world is not going to be full of robots, and it's not going to be about virtual reality. But that's another conversation. So, or do I have to use this?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Right, so that's what that representation is about. And world tourism's big, it's massive. 1950, how many people do you think went on holiday? Pick a number.
Just my grandfather.
Just your grandfather. In 1950, 25 million people took an international holiday. 25 million people. In 1950, if you got on an aeroplane, you wore a suit and tie. Today, we don't do that. Today, approximately 1 billion people have gone on an international holiday. It's grown exponentially because fundamentally society has got richer, there's more wealth, there's more resources, and there's been mobility. So the world has gone and the world has traveled. United Nations World Tourism Organization is talking about 1.9 billion people taking a holiday in 2030, and about 4.3 billion people taking a holiday in the year 2050. So exponential growth, and it's all about wealth, it's all about access, and it's all about those resources. So I'm going to talk about a couple of things. I haven't a clue what the next slides are going to be, because they're all now muddled up. But anyway. So it's all about the resources, the future. In the terms of the key drivers, you need to understand where resources are, you need to understand where technology is, and you need to understand where wealth is. Who are going to be the richest people on the travel? Because holidays and tourism is fundamentally about that. It's about wealth. It's about disposable income. So you need to know where those markets are coming from. and what's going to change and what's going to be resourceful. Dutch people, you're the second biggest travelers in Europe. The second biggest. Only one other country takes more holidays than the Dutch. And do you know what country that is? Germans. Germans. But there's something about the Dutch. You're the first to leave work. You leave work the earliest than anybody else in Europe to get on that plane and go on holiday. I'm not saying work is terrible in Holland, but you're really into your holidays. Really into your holidays. Really into them. So we've got major challenges going forward. We've got major challenges in the terms of resources, oil, water, land. Technology's changed things. So we talk about all of these that combined and what does it mean. So is the future an eco-tourist, a hedonistic tourist, or a food tourist? It's not. It's about a little bit of everything. The future tourist is like this. This is me on my little holidays and mini breaks in New Zealand, Europe, and the South Pacific. And if you look at that corner, right in the top right-hand corner, that's me in my pajamas, hiking up mountains. Because in New Zealand, we wear our underpants when we go hiking. Bet you didn't know that, or tramping, as we call it. And what we do today what we like to do today as a tourist is we like to sample. We want new experiences. We have a desire to travel and see new cultures and just test and do new things in the terms of that. So we like to sample. Anybody here play cricket? There you are. Hello. Once upon a time, if you played cricket in England or New Zealand or South Africa, you used to have to take 5 days off work to play cricket. 5 days. You know, in 1910, 1914, that type of thing. Today, if you want to play cricket, you only take the afternoon off because we've invented the game called 2020. We change things and we adapt things. We want to sample. We want to see the novelty and address that. So consumers want to sample and experience. So going forward, it's about change. What are some of the changes that we are going to see? Well, first change that we'll probably see in the world, there's going to be less young people and more old people. So what does that mean for tourism? It means, well, if there's less young people, that means in New Zealand there's less people doing bungee jumps. Because you don't see the 80 and 90-year-olds jumping off cliffs. In New Zealand, if you come to do a bungee jump, we guarantee you your money back if it doesn't work. Okay. So fundamentally, the tourism industry is going to change. Adventure tourism has major problems going forward because it's fundamentally a youth market. And if you look at the hospitality industry, the hotel industry, labor supply is all about people that are under the age of 25, and there's just less of them. So the tourism industry, the hospitality sector, has to compete for that labor with healthcare and retail, so major challenges. From a product perspective, what we want to do is live longer. If you're born in Holland today, you've got a 1 in 4 probability of living to your 100. 100. On the boiled vegetables. The mushy carrots. So fundamentally, what we're doing from a tourism perspective, what we want to do is, what do we want to do? I'm trying to think. We retire at 65-ish. We want to have 12 years of good health, then 7 to 8 years of dodgy health. We're trying to extend those healthy years. That's why you've got a big interest in health and well-being and hiking and going on holiday, relaxation. No stress at work in Holland. However, I've got some fantastic news for you. None of you are going to die. Somebody, Professor Ronald DiPino at Harvard Medical School, has discovered the cure for death. Okay? He's a professor I've forgotten the disease. What's that disease where your memory starts to go? Alzheimer's. Mine's kicking in. He's a professor in Alzheimer's. He's looking at drug therapy, and it's all about restructuring telomeres, trying to slow down the aging process. And he's been partially successful in slowing down the aging process and reversing it in mice. So that's the new detox. So what else is going to change? Well, it's all about the experience economy. You know, everybody talks, is it all about virtual tourism? But today in society, we've changed the home. It's all about massive plasma screen TVs. We like to build things up. We like that inexperienced economy. And today, we go on holiday. Do you know what's the first thing that you pack when you go in a suitcase? What's the first thing you put in your suitcase? Your mobile phone. 95% of people on a holiday, the first thing that they do is check emails for work. So how does that inspiration, how will technology change it? How about going on holiday to see this? Play Maestro. Thank you. Going on holiday, it's about a relationship with people. And Elvis, Paul McCartney's not dead, Elvis, John Lennon, they will make their comeback to us in the year 2050. We recreate that type of experience. So how will you travel in the future? 2 things. How about coming to New Zealand for the weekend? Hypersonic travel, New Zealand in 3 to 4 hours. In the 1800s, if you wanted to get to New Zealand, you came by sailing ship, it would take you 6 months. Then they invented what did they invent? The steamship. It takes you 6 weeks. And then they have airplanes, 24 hours. But come in a hypersonic. How about one of these as the next generation of aircraft carriers? Cruise ships are massive. It's about 20,000 people stuck on this big boat for 2 weeks. Fantastic. And going on holiday, 2 things about going on holiday. When you go on holiday now, technology's changed everything. Google Glass is the next concept in wearable technologies. It's not about mobile phones or smartphones anymore. It's about that Google Glass. Imagine going on a date and somebody's wearing a Google Glass. They'll know everything about you before you've opened your mouth. But this type of technology changes things. You as the tourist, for example, don't visit information centers because you use your smartphone to get there. There's no such thing as the lost tourist. How about the ability to read your mind? Well, if you look at EEG caps or brain-computer interfaces, Samsung now has a tablet where you can use your mind to read it. Don't tell the wife that about that idea. I don't want her to know what I'm actually thinking. So, coming back, I've just given you a little flavor of what the future's all about. What the future's all about is we don't know. The point of it is just about, let's just think about the future and some of the ideas that are coming forward. Because we know the future tourist is going to be more demanding, more complex, more sophisticated, wants something for a cheaper price. But from a business perspective, it's all about understanding that consumer, and it's all about trying to reinvent yourself. It's all about that novelty and that innovation. Keep on plugging and going and going and going on. Because we can't predict the exact future, because somebody once said everything that has been invented or something like that. Anyway, if you want to know more, you can probably read my book. Very interesting. Got to give the plug in there. And thank you very much. Well, hey!